This the link up. This the link up. This the link up. Welcome to the link up. This the link up. This the link up. This the link up. Welcome to the link up. Oh. Yes, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Link Up Podcast with you, Mr. King, Kana, and No Woods here.
But so we're going to go into the whole explosive diarrhea thing that he have this time, or that's just me?
I don't know. That depends. My headphones just died. Cause like, yeah, Calypso move something there. Nah, they're cool. They're working.
Yeah, it's alright.
Bye.
But yeah, we got Rumer in the building today.
Squad.
Special guest. I mean, for all the people who are probably familiar with him, I think he's a familiar face at least for most of the Maarten listeners and thing. Well-known face involved in Maarten radio.
But if you see him, you definitely hear him.
Yeah,
more than likely, hopefully. If he didn't, then I'm doing a good job. A good enough job then. Okay, now fellas and fella.
Alright. That's a first.
I mean,
fella.
We didn't even miss a Woods this episode, man. That was a very Woods thing to say, I feel like.
I guess Woods is the odd one out.
Yeah.
Hey, you're right.
Okay.
You're absolutely right. But I guess for those who can see in here, Calypso joining us on this episode.
Hi guys.
But to get straight into it, might as well get straight into it. So first of all,
why you here?
Nah, we don't get to that yet. give the people who might not be familiar with you or who don't know you already just a little background on yourself, who you is, where you come from.
Well, mother named me Rumer Rogers.
Oh, your mother, so your father had nothing to do with it.
No, my mother named me Rumer. My father had nothing to do with it. He just said okay. He just said okay. Name Rumer Rogers, 1996, April baby, Carnival baby. Love Carnival. Love the island where I'm from. Started doing music back in 2006. By been singing with my father when he had his band. Well, he still has his band. Been singing with him from time I was the age of 4. Singing in casinos and hotels. Not casinos. Singing in hotels and restaurants. Whoa, singing in hotels and restaurants and whatnot. You know, always had the music influences around me, and then especially seeing how my father and my mother was always heavily involved in Carnival, you know, for parade and stuff like that. We'd be on the truck, you know, singing. I was in parade, whatnot, some way, shape, form, or fashion. I was always involved in music and or Carnival. So they are the reason why I'm the way I am today. I blame them. If people frown upon me or shun me, I blame them. Because
and what if they support you and love you?
If they support me and they love me, then they just have to thank my parents. But if you shun me, you blame my parents because they are the reasons.
Once they gotta get the praise as well, then
yeah. They could get everything. They can get everything. Advocate, music lover, Carnival lover, just music in general. I just love music. Music in general is my passion. I just have a thing for soca. It's just in me, you know. Soca feels like me, but I love all other shapes and genres of music. Especially, I love jazz. People don't not necessarily know that, but I like jazz music besides soca. Jazz has soothes the mind. It calms, makes me see the world in different colors. You know. Soca make me see woman, jazz make me see colors, you know. So it's like
alright. So woman in colors. Woman in colors.
Woman in colors. I was good. So you may have paint parties and stuff like that. But what else? I asked my question now.
Alright. So then, what part of Carnival itself could you say you was always involved with and stuff like that? But is that more the soca part or more like calypso? Because you say your mother and your fathers, I know that they I would assume is a little bit the older crowd, so that they were more old school. So I would assume they was more like the calypso.
They were always both in road march and calypso.
Okay.
My mother, being in Lady Melody, she was the last female monarch of the.
You can do it.
We believe in you, don't worry.
What was the name of the competition? It was this like inter-island competition around the Caribbean, and all of the Eastern Caribbean female monarchs came, and she was the last one to win.
True.
And she was the first and only lady to ever win both crowns in the same year, Calypso and Road March in Sabre, because she's from Sabre.
Okay.
And yeah, it was just there was always being on the road for parade. Not necessarily, I wouldn't be there for Jump Up and Juve, but for parades mostly I was always there.
That 1 lap, 2 laps around the bottom.
Wow. Not Sabre Parade. Well, yes, Sabre Parade, but mostly St. Martin Parade. St. Martin Parade.
All the people from Sabre just log off. Just so you know.
Wow.
They probably got like, what, 3? Anyway, hey, big up my Sabre people. I love the island. I love the carnival. Sabre is actually the second carnival that I actually really enjoy other than St. Martin one. As small as it is, Sabre Carnival is turned up by.
One of these days I actually
Sabre's, listen, in all of the Caribbean, the most difficult Juve in the Caribbean is Sabre.
I would somewhat agree with that just because of that one blasted hill from St. John's aside.
One.
But that one serious one.
Sabre itself is a hill.
I mean, yeah,
Sabre
but
is a hill. There's no one hill. The whole of Sabre is a hill.
yeah, but okay, the last time I can remember the Juve route was they had like the one hill was really so tense, like the truck and all had to stop playing music because they had to put more energy in like actually going up and down.
Yeah, you're right. That is true.
I don't remember which hill it is, but I believe it's coming from, I don't know if it's Windward
coming from Windward side, going St. John's.
Yeah.
Going St. John's side, yeah. But Sabre has the Sabre Juve is challenging. If you ain't ready to climb hills and walk up at the same time,
but hey,
don't go.
It's definitely a skill.
It's a workout for you.
But it's definitely a skill, but I can understand why everybody just be dead after that one. And I think it's like the next day or the same day they have parade too.
No, the next day. The next day. They don't
yeah, you see, I ain't too sure, you know.
I think they had a year they do that. I think they had a year they had Juve. No, it's the next day.
Okay. I mean, I don't think last Sabre Carnival was in, like, 2006. That was like a while ago.
Yeah, a lot. Like I say, I never went.
Oh, but yeah.
So yeah, and then you had to explain your mother. So now your father now. How your father played into your influence?
My father basically, he was always involved with Carnival when it came to the Calypsonians and and basically the same people that did Calypso did Road March as well. So basically he was the president of the Music Association, and he would always be the one to go to all of the Carnival presidents, whoever may be, whether it be Arnold Labega, Stuart Johnson, Fabiana Arnell, Michael Granger. You know, he would be the one to go to them and be like, listen, this this is our demands and this is what we have, this is what we coming to the table with. These Calypsonians singing this year, this is what we would like to have, this band and this.
Okay, so more like a main organizer.
Yeah, he was the main organizer, but he also used to compete as well. But he used to he used to compete basically for the love of Carnival, you know.
Okay.
And he would rather make sure that everything else is good for everybody else, and then he would fit himself in versus him trying to be in the forefront and trying to be the spotlight of the show.
Okay.
You know, so that was him, and like he does always say he never won a crown, but he produced kings who won crowns. So it's like,
I mean, technically he led.
Yeah, you know, so that's what he said. He said he never win, but he produced people that won. So, yeah.
And then your brother, I'm sure, had some kind of influence as well.
Ish, because my brother started to sing.
Into that thing as well. He into the calypso as well.
My brother started to sing in 2006. He started to compete in calypso 2006, and then 2008 is when he won his first crown in the juniors, because he didn't sing 2007. He didn't sing 2007, and then
far back, but
2007 he didn't sing, and in 2008 he sang again, and then he won his first crown, and then he went to Ifa Police School, and he came back in 2011 or 2010, one of them years. He come back, and then he started to compete again, and then I started to compete in 2009. The year he left was my first year competing, and then he came back 2011, because when he wasn't here I didn't sing. When he leave I was so devastated. I just didn't say. I didn't do nothing.
So are you close at that then?
Yeah, like when it comes to competitions and stuff like that, like it's nick and knack, yin and yang. You know, it's like if he there and I not there, it don't feel right. If I there and he not there, don't feel right. You know, it's like they always have to have the two there. That's the formula. That's the chemistry.
Just to go back a little bit there, because you had mentioned road match a lot. We got a few international listeners. You could give a quick breakdown of what road match is.
Basically, road match. A lot of people does say that road match and power soca basically they don't necessarily have a difference, or they ask a lot what is the difference. Me, in my interpretation, in what the difference is that road match has a more rhythm based foundation, versus power soca is more melodic or more melody. Yes, you still have the same hype when it comes to the jumping up and the energy in the song, but when it comes to the foundation of the music itself, the rhythm in road match is different than the rhythm in power soca. So, like,
and I mean, since you already given definitions, then what would be a difference between groovy and the power? Then I mean,
the main difference is the tempo. One is slow, one is fast. That's the only difference. I mean, like, let's say for example, road march can be interpreted in different ways in different countries. You know, like in Trinidad, Savannah Grass is a road march, but that's a groovy. Savannah Grass is my personal favorite out of this year Carnival, out of Trinidad, and I would have wanted that to win because that song has meaning. Not saying that the others didn't have meaning, but that song has more meaning because of what it stood for, because his father passed. And he was explaining that his father was the one that showed him and taught him everything about the savannah, and that's where his father used to bring him a lot and give him the history and stuff like that. And whatnot. So the
quick
song.
question though, who's this he talking about?
Oh, Kes, my bad. I'm sorry.
I very
I'm sorry, my bad.
To a lot of shit.
Kes the band. I'm sorry, my bad.
You
I
ain't
thought
fine with me and things here.
you should have. You should know that. That you should know.
I out to the soca scene.
But yeah, Kes with Savannah Grass. That's.
I can just pretend like I had no too.
Wow, you guys are horrible. But yeah, you know, it's like, so in Trinidad, Savannah Grass, was considered a road march, even though it was a slow song. But like, let's say in the same Trinidad, when it came to the International Soca Monarch, Run With It from Mr. Killer.
See, that one I know.
Run With It from Mr. Killer. That's a power soca, but back home in Grenada, it won road match. So, you know, it's like, it all depends on where you're from. The type of music determines what your road match is. So everybody has a different musical interpretation of road match.
That's certainly true. I remember like a time I was playing also a Simon's one general had come out with this year, she won the best. I remember playing out for Woods, and he was like, when he think on soca, he get different thing, cause he from Aruba, and then what he think on when he think of soca and Carnival, like the Aruban sound, there's a complete different thing.
They have
to
a
like
whole different sound.
how we view soca and Carnival, road match, all of it.
From what I would understand, like our soca in general, I guess would be a more power than if you have to compare it to Aruba one. Cause from my understanding, Aruba was like real mellow, just
the
like
thing about his mellow is just that the structure is with brass. Aruba have a lot of brass.
How we actually asked the Arubian?
Well, yeah, everyone.
Got too much queen over there.
But I don't even know. Like, if I heard it, I know exactly. Like, when I hear something, I gonna be like, "Yep, that's my people." Cause like it had a part in Grand Parade St. Martin. Like, I heard a band from Aruba playing. Or like they had the track playing or something. Because I know that Le Groove does go St. Martin and play there. But you see, I feel like Le Groove is more like an in-between Aruba and St. Martin type vibe. But in general, Aruba soca or kaiso, because the road match we don't call it kaiso.
Getting educated here.
Yeah.
But this is what
it used to be road match. I don't know what happened. They just changed it one year. They were like, "Hey, are you kaiso?"
But the sound ain't changing.
Cool. No, not really. It's like the same competition, and they just have it split up into like kaiso and soca. And I think like soca would be more like power soca, and then kaiso would be more like the slow melody. But in general, I would say Aruba have like a slower, more relaxed vibe. Like it ain't like,
and it's party music. You could dance.
Yeah,
to it.
it's like,
you know, you could groove. It ain't
you're
no
just like
jumping up kind of
having fun.
something.
It's not like throwing your ass back. You know what I'm saying? It ain't really that.
But you say party music like Sabata music, soca, party music.
No, when I say
When I say
party music,
jumping
I
up.
mean like mature party music, like that the
You gotta
grown folks
dance a
could
little
dance
bit
to.
too.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I mean when I say
Okay.
party music, because Aruba and Curacao, Bonia sometimes, they have a sometimes once in a
It's
while.
totally different. Like
Once in a while, they have
Okay.
they have a unique sound. They
That's
they are someone that those three islands, they took the soca genre and they made their own subgenre where it's called tumba. That's their sound.
Okay.
Whenever you
Yeah, that's
hear a Curacao, Aruba, Bonaire song, you can't mistake or you cannot wrongly identify where it come from.
okay, I feel like Curacao a little more intense because they don't have the whole Tumba festival and stuff.
Well, I mean, it doesn't
So-
matter about intent. I mean,
Yeah.
the music is still the same. You know, the music still comes once you hear it. Once you hear the brass start to come out and how the arrangement come in with the little congos, and you cannot mistake it. Is that's that.
So that you think? So is that because they're more close to like Latin American them kind of ones, or that's just their
It
own?
could be. It could be. I mean, their culture goes further back than ours. I would assume. I would say. So it could be Latin American influence.
We just celebrate 65, so
It could be Latin American influence.
just put
That let me leave that alone. Actually, no. We might bring it up
No,
since we
bring
got like a soca enthusiast here. How you feel about this whole
How
numbering
old is
thing?
Carnival?
How
we
I
set the
feel
record
about this
straight?
whole
How old is
numbering
Carnival?
thing.
Because half saying it's 50, half saying it's 49.
Me
How old is
personally,
Carnival? Can you give a can you settle the debate?
me personally, to everybody that's saying Carnival is 49, they need to get the diploma taken away from them.
but
because for the simple fact that I always have this argument with people when it comes to counting. Counting is, you cannot count everything the same way, and people fail to realize and understand that. That's
Okay,
my
so
problem.
Expound on that.
Carnival, there's two different stories. Some say Carnival starts 69 and they take a year off, one of them years in between. Some say Carnival starts 70 and went straight through. I don't know which one, but regardless of whichever one you take, it's going to be the same thing. If it starts 70, that was the first year. You go 70, 71, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 79 is the 10th celebration of Carnival. So in 9 years, you celebrated Carnival 10 times. And then you do it again. So from 80 to 89, that's another 10 years. That's 20. 90 to 99, 30 years. 2000, 2009, 40 years. 2010, 2019, 50 years.
Okay.
But
Debate
like,
has been settled.
I think I had see where it went wrong now because a lot of people was comparing it to like the age, you know, when you're born, you had 0. But when you counted a celebration, you start at 1. You don't start at 0.
This is exactly my thing. You cannot take how old you are and Carnival.
Yeah,
It's two different things. Your age determine you. Like me, I'm 23, but I am in my 24th
year of
year,
life.
my 24th birth year. I'm 23, but I'm in my 24th birth year. People don't know that when you're 0, you're in your first birth year.
What do you think? Maybe we should just change the way we count the age.
No, well, I mean,
'cause technically, it's like 9 months in the womb.
when you're
Now it's like
Yo,
I understand.
Gary going a little too fast. Gary going a
you coming on 9 months.
Next thing you got bust out the calculator.
A 3-month-old baby
Somebody
technically
ask you
one.
how
I
old he
understand,
is.
but then here's where that argument will get debunked because you celebrate your birthday, so the day you actually get pushed out, not
That's
your
true.
conceived or your conception date.
Or when you, but I,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, but
even-
And you
still start
could,
at 1.
but you could always mix up your conception date because maybe you was conceived on the 26th, some say the 25th. You don't know.
Yeah, but
you cannot mistake the day you get pushed
but
out.
then do you
I
get?
understand.
But
But then your first birthday,
I
your
agree, I
first
don't
birthday
know.
celebration, so you could kind of use the same.
No, that's your
logic.
first conception day
No,
celebration.
but I mean, if you go in tradition from when you come out the womb, that's your birthday.
That's
That's
your
your
date
first
of birth,
birthday
yeah.
celebration type of thing. You could kind of look at it in the same
But
way how you
exactly
count
that. So
Carnival.
this is
so
where
that would be your first.
So this is where it goes. That's your first birth year. So when you born to the next year, that's your first birth year, and when you reach your second birth year is when you make one. You celebrate your first year of living within your first birth year.
I see what you're saying.
I try not
That
to
would
get
just be an
in.
extra
Well, I
ridiculous.
experienced on Facebook, and I was just like,
I try not to get into that argument on
Okay.
Facebook because
That's definitely one I'd stay out of. 'Cause
people really yeah, I don't like to call people doting, but
I find calling people doting is better than calling people dumb. Because it's like it's more or less the same thing, but it feel like a less connotation. It's like more of a friendly something. Like, yo, how you so doting? Or rather, yo, you dumb.
I feel a little more jokey. I agree with what you're saying, but you mean the same thing.
I mean, I correct me if I'm wrong now. But I be personally, but like, if somebody
To
call
be
me
honest,
doting,
both
I'd
of
be
them
like,
had sound jokey coming out of you more.
but okay, yeah, maybe me is the wrong
It depends how you
example,
say it.
but
It depends
like,
how you say it.
for me, if somebody have to call me doting, I'd be like, man, fuck you. But like somebody call me dumb, I'd be like, man, you really questioning my intelligence? that's really what's going on there. But
to bring it
that
back
could
a
just
little
be-
bit.
yeah.
Like, you say, what year was you at the first year you start competing?
me 2009.
And before, like, were you making music already before that, or was that?
I was
like, did it
making
kind of
music, but
correlate?
not carnival music. Before that, I was doing hip hop. I was a rapper
He's
before.
one of those.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you sound like, yeah.
I don't see the problem in it. I really don't. I see no problem in either switching from genre to genre, dabbling into many different genres. Some people like to take not necessarily offense, but they advocate about the genre they focus in or they specialize in. Some people like to dabble into many different genres. Whichever you prefer to do is up to you.
So
Do
then,
you see yourself coming back to hip hop, or is it for you? I mean,
It's not necessarily.
I feel like
It's not
for you, soca
necessarily.
is a natural thing. Like, it make all the sense in the world why you would be a soca artist, giving your background, bringing the surroundings and things like that. To
It's
me,
not
only natural
necessarily
like that.
coming back, because I never say that I quit rapping or I will never rap again. You know, the time just has to be right. Like, I freestyle all the time because that was one of the main reasons I had enjoyed doing hip hop so much, because it was easier to be open versus soca. You can't sing about not necessarily killing people, but then if you hear a soca song about killing people, people are like, what's this? This soca ain't about this, you know. But when it comes to hip hop and R&B, you can sing about anything. It doesn't have no.
you're trying to let some anger out, man.
Not necessarily. I mean, I basically.
You went straight for killing.
No, I would just give an example. Like, let's say, for example, there like in topics in soca, the main topics is rum, woman, and fetting.
Freeing up.
I think that's the only topics. That even
yeah.
the main ones. Them the
Them
only.
is the three topics.
I have yet.
The way flags, you know.
Oh, yeah, got flags a lot.
That's
Yeah, but
fetting.
A whole lot of
That's
waving,
fetting.
that's
go-
fetting.
that fall
Everything
in
you could
fetting.
come up with goes in one of them. That's the three topics: rum, woman, and fetting. All three of them.
definitely
You
true.
can't have, and the thing is, you can't have a fet without woman and rum. Wherever there's woman, there should be fetting and rum, and wherever there's rum, there can be woman and
The
fetting.
three interconnected.
You know, they
basically.
all there.
The Carnival Trinity.
They all there. You know,
That's
so it's
one of the
like
song right there, already.
Accurate.
so it's like in hip hop, you don't have those three specific topics. You could go with anything.
One can make an argument. That,
Yeah, that
like,
they still kind of, to a certain extent, kind of
Yeah.
intertwined in the hip hop community, in the hip hop
they
scene
would
as
just
well.
be like, depending on who you ask.
Well, I mean,
feel like,
it depends. This is why I specifically say hip hop and not rap. You know, because in hip hop,
Okay.
you more of how I interpret it. When it comes to hip hop, you more old school. You know, you have a steady beat, a kick and a hi hat with a clap in the background. You know, that's all you have. But
Okay.
when it comes
Okay,
to
I
rap
can
now,
understand
it's
that.
about cars and women and drugs and jewelry.
yeah.
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 I feel like if you listen to every Tiger song that has ever come out, every Tiger song is basically like, okay,
Yeah, it's
this
the
is what
same
mainstream
four
rap
elements.
is.
If you listen to a
Bottles,
song
bitches.
for his lyrics, then you need to check yourself, because obviously you're on a whole different way. Because nobody listens to Tiger. It mostly beats. Like, again, just like what you were saying, you can talk about the same shit.
Yeah, every Tiger verse is the same. The only Tiger verse that might be an exception to that rule is Deuces. Like, we was having this, me and the wife, he was having that conversation, like trying to find if there's any memorable Tiger verse. We actually
That ain't a
remember.
bad verse for you. I forget
Yeah,
about
yeah.
that.
Attention. That's the,
A memorable.
I forget
What about Holla Back?
I don't know that song.
Yeah. It's my face.
So I guess it failed. The qualification
Wow.
is not memorable if I don't even know it. Like,
You don't know Holla Back, Nicki Minaj, Tiger, Lil Wayne? No, you don't know that song?
it's possible that I don't. I don't know.
Yeah, that definitely got over my
right
head.
now ain't ringing no
I feel
bells.
like
You know it?
is like the
you know the song?
age range, yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's not
Yeah,
about
because
age
like
range. That was a
he
great
closer
song.
to my age than you.
That
That's
was a
why.
Yeah, but he not far from us either.
That was a great song.
I mean,
it was a
know.
it was a great song. You cannot, age does not have
It's
nothing
a
to
great song.
because I bet you didn't know about Baby Shark. So it has nothing to do with age.
Yeah, but I have
Yeah,
younger
but that's
siblings.
different now.
It does
Like
not
things
matter.
just go viral different now than they used to. Like,
You're a Lil Wayne fan?
hold on.
You're a Nicki Minaj fan?
Kinda.
That was no. Okay, let's go back 5 years. You was a Nicki Minaj fan back 5 years ago?
5 years?
Probably more
Before
than
Cardi
now.
B.
Probably more than now.
I gonna look
My
this up.
fandom of Nicki has nothing to do with Cardi.
No, I mean, some people
I know,
fall
I
off
know.
of Cardi, fall off of Nicki since Cardi came on.
Me
But I
and Nicki
mean,
could still wrap circles around Cardi, so I feel like everybody who going into that debate, like,
I mean,
they
my
don't
thing
care
is-
about actual quality of the music, but
my thing is, Holla Back was just one of those songs
I
that
missed that one.
it's
Yeah,
man.
that one's
I mean-
past
They got a
me
lot
too.
of music between
About
the
the
three of
gym
them.
hours, yeah,
They
that's
have a
all.
lot of music. Like I missed that one. My bad.
No, man.
So in your opinion, that's a memorable Tiger verse.
It could be considered a memorable.
Is he rapping
song.
about something other than bitches, bottles,
No,
club?
okay.
'Cause that's basically what I'm trying to say with memorable. Because majority of Tiger verses, you can interchange any of them on any
Okay,
song,
well, I
and
mean-
you wouldn't notice a difference because it's all about the same.
Okay, well,
things
in that sense, no,
topic-wise.
but it was still a hot verse. That's right.
Cool. It could be. It could be.
But then going back to how you was talking about the rum and stuff like that, I'm curious because I don't know. Maybe you talked about it before in other places, but where the name Rumer come from?
My real name is Romari,
Okay.
and you know Leopold, right?
Mm.
Okay, you know Leopold. So they all of us was outside, was somewhere. We were just chilling.
Leopold who?
Merrick.
Last name.
Merrick.
Oh, but
Yeah,
yeah.
he was in
yeah.
my class.
But Leopold was in my class, which is odd. Leopold he went CIA for a certain
I
amount of
remember
time.
that.
Shout out Leopold.
So this was back in the time where you put Izzle behind everything.
No, yeah.
So
yeah.
basically, we was all chilling. It was like a group of 6 of us, and we were just chilling. We were just putting the word Izzle behind everything, and he called me Rum Izzle. And I said, "What you said there?" He called me Rum Izzle. I said, "Do something with it. It sound good, but it missing something." He called me Rumer Izzle. So when he called me Rumer Izzle, I said, "I like that," and I stuck with it. And then I basically I changed my rapper name to Rumer Izzle because I fall in love with the name. And then after a while I just dropped the Izzle because I was like, it kind of long, so just drop the Izzle and just call myself Rumer. So then I was Rumer. And then switched to Soca, and then I just dropped one of the Rummers, and then I stick with Rumer.
Okay, that makes sense. So then, why asking that is because around which year this was?
Oof. I think this was 2012, 2011. I was in second form when that name came about. So 2011.
Okay, no, I think he would have been up here already. Because then, why I asked that is because you ever had a clash
Rum?
with Dr. Rum with names
Man,
and stuff like
Janalo can't come and tell me nothing, man. Janalo can't come tell me nothing.
that? Hey,
Putting
hey,
him
No, but shout out to Dr. Romantan. I'm a buy.
Yeah,
Shout out to
shout
Dr.
out to
Rum. But
Dr. Rum too,
when the name started to become something, because I always had the name, but it was never an issue until my name started to buzz here and there, and then when Rum was up here, they was like, yeah, Rummer, how you thief Dr. Rum name, yada yada yada. I was like, but Rum, but my thing is, my thing is, Rum is actually in my name. What's his excuse? His excuse was he drinks rum. Okay, cool. But rum is actually in my name. The first 3 letters of my name is R-U-M. So I have a legit reason to call myself something with rum. I had this debate with Rum numerous times.
His argument would probably be that he come first.
Yeah, that's what he says. That's always what he says. That's not. And he always uses that argument. Always. But yeah, I mean, it's all love. We got some projects we're working on in the pipeline. So shout out to Dr. Romantan, number by One Love One Time. It's all love there, man.
I was always curious about it. I'm like, yo, them are ever clash or them are, to be quite honest, like only the past maybe like 3-4 years I really start to notice you yourself.
But that's exactly when it started to bubble.
Okay, well then only part, but I know Dr. Rum from since since he was on the radio with Weekly LIS, I used to be in the background there when the man used to be talking crap. So like that's how I get to know Dr. Rum. You check.
Back in the shrimping days.
But yo, I just still use that word from time to time. People watch me like, what? What the hell is shrimping? Like, what was that? But that's a whole different something.
But since I bring up Rum, I was wondering, like, how you feel about the whole thing he was talking about with doing a hardest on the rock soca vibe?
I mean, if the project calls for it, if the vibe is right, because I don't like to force nothing. I wouldn't make something just to make it, you know.
I mean, not necessarily just about you doing it, but I mean just the concept of
the concept is a good concept. Because I have spoken to him about this already. It's a good concept, but it might not appeal to everybody because you know the hardest on the rock, the hip hop beat. I mean, if anybody heard that beat, they would feel it one time, you know, because it was just something it's not something that's too difficult, too complex. It's simple keys, hi-hats, drums, whatever. That beat had like 5 elements in it. You know, it's nothing too complicated. But when it comes to soca now, it might be a bit more complex, and people might pull away from it and be like, oh no, you should just leave it as a hip hop something, whatever. So you need it all depends on how the rhythm comes out, how the music comes out. That would determine if a lot of people jump on it. And then 2, again, hip hop, I wouldn't say hip hop necessarily costs more to make, but when it comes to soca, when it comes to vocals and melody, it takes longer to master because you have melodies. You need to make sure all the keys are right, and you don't want the engineer touching too much keys because then they'll sound too fake. So it's better you sing it as straight as you can and then have him adjust here and there, versus you sing it however and then he adjusts everything, it just sound off. And so it is a longer process too, so you wouldn't get things coming out just like that, like how you had for Hardest on Rock with the hip hop version, you know. So Go through.
Would you not say that if you did something like maybe a power soca hardest on the rock, because to me that's a little more, it's a little closer to compare those genres, power soca to rap, than it is like if you were to make a groovy soca beat and then do one to hardest on the rock. I mean, you never know,
somebody could take the hardest on the rock, power soca, slow it down and make a sound to blow your mind. Somebody could have speed up, somebody could have sped up the regular hardest on the rock and do something that nobody had think about and be like, yo, what's this?
Yeah, but I feel like, okay, a kind of different question. Is there anywhere where it's something that's like the hardest on the rock, but for soca, where it's like, okay, there's this one beat and we get to see no. It's really about the creativity, the ingenuity. That's what I was going to say. Because if you change in the beat and thing, then to me it changed the challenge. And I was one of those that kind of took the version that Shelly them had remixed the hardest on the rock beat, and I had used that version, and I felt a way about that one in a sense, because that already, you can't judge it's not just the bars you're judging now, because you changed the beat as well, so it's gonna sound different than what everybody else doing. So
but I don't think that'll fit more in the hip hop culture in general.
Yeah, that's more of a.
Why I asked the question too. Is there anywhere in soca where you could see that kind of thing?
Because we don't really see. I think it's maybe a few beats.
I know dancehall culture does like
there's a few beats where they use the same beats with the soca.
Yeah, dancehall, reggae, hip hop. You mostly see a bunch of different people remixing a rhythm and remixing a song and whatnot. But in soca is more difficult because soca producers, they don't give out their productions, or they don't lease it to any and everybody. They make a production and it's for these 2, 3, 4, 5 artists, and then after that, like let's say for example anybody else that were to get a hold of the rhythm and make a song of it and sell it could get in trouble, get sued, because they don't have the rights to the rhythm, you know, versus in hip hop.
With the soca mixtapes, like Lil Wayne, the drought is over, the drought tree and them
soca,
ones.
You see the difference with soca and I would say all the other genres. In soca, a song is a now for now. There's no okay, I could make this song now and it's still good for next year. You know, like a lot of songs that get lost in time when it comes. There's a few timeless songs, but a lot of songs that get lost because it was for this year. It was a great song this year, and then it's on to the next year. You know what good song? Because every year.
I think we
but would you not say that kind of correlates to like the kind of competition nature of a lot of soca? In the sense that it's like there's the Road Mad show, there's the Soca Rumble, there's these type of things, and that's kind of like what you making the music for?
Ish, but then also too, right now in the world, well, from what I see, there are more soca events or major soca events than any other genre right now that I see. I could be wrong, but that I see, there aren't as many other events than as soca events, because every month you have a carnival. Every month. I just came or carnival or festival. I just came off of Ibiza in Spain in May. This month they have, when is Grenada? Grenada is next month. Grenada, Holland is next month. Anguilla, Sabre Station, Antigua.
I don't know the Sabre one is like June, so.
No, Sabre is ending of July.
So I see, I ain't even know the proper date.
You know, so it's like, and then that's July, and then August you have nothing. Berlin is the end of this month. Berlin is the end of this month.
You mean August?
No, end of this month.
Berlin? Oh, Berlin. Sorry, my
Berlin
bad.
is the end of this month.
Yeah.
Nothing is the end of August, and then in September you have. Oof, I can't remember off the top of my head.
No, but is
Hollywood in Los Angeles supposed to be this
Hollywood?
month. Yeah, Atlanta was this month.
I know. I see Atlanta all of a sudden popping up with one.
Labor Day parade in New York. Listen, almost every month there is a soca festivity in a country somewhere around the world. Japan even have soca now.
Just me, you gotta tell me that.
You know, so it's like, my thing is, soca artists would make a song. Let's say, for example, me, I make a song, say, okay, this for Crap Over in Barbados in August. I make this song specifically for that market.
Okay.
This Trinidad Carnival coming up, and we make this song for Trinidad Carnival. Oh, Grenada coming up, make the song for Grenada. You got St. Lucia over there, let me make a Denry. You know, Dominica, that Creole Fest coming up, let me make a Bouillon. You know, so it's like, I make this song for this. Versus if you do hip hop, you make a song just to try and make a hit. Reggae, you make a song just to try and make a hit. Dancer, you make a song just to try and make a hit. But for soca, you make a song for specific. I never even think about it like that. You make songs for specific places.
Yeah, but that's kind of like what I was saying in the sense that it's like more tied to the type of events and things.
To the type of event, the competition, the competition. It can play a part, but competition, not music, will be made. That's one thing. Like, you can have a song and you enter it in a competition, but you didn't make it for the purpose of the competition.
Okay.
You know? Like, for perfect example, Vaughn with Trouble in the Morning. That song came out 2018, mid 2018. But he performed it this year for Trinidad Soca Monarch. I'm pretty sure he didn't have that in mind to compete with it in Soca Monarch. But I guess after you see the success of the song, he said, you know, let me enter it to see how far I can get. I think he placed second run up in Trinidad.
Yeah, I certainly would agree with you there that there probably is a lot of that. But I mean, I feel like from some people as well, just on the same man scale, I can't speak to all the other islands thing. I know that there's some people who's like, Soca Rumble is what we making music for. Like, not to say that they ain't making music outside of that, but it's like a big part of their thinking is like, this is my Soca Rumble song this year type of thing. Yeah. And I wouldn't. There
are people like that. There are carnival artists, I like to call them. People that only make music for carnival. There are a lot of those, and then they go back into the woodshed and then they try to come up with something that's for next carnival. You know, but me, I stopped being one of those artists back in 2017 or 2016. Basically, I stopped being one of those artists. I tried to put out music year round because one song, depending where we're from, one song can't get you nowhere. You need a plethora of songs. You need at least like 5 hits back to back to say, okay,
for people to actually start taking
let
it
me
serious.
Go somewhere with this, you know.
Yep.
You need the most important thing when it comes to soca around the world is your consistency. Whether you're making music consistently, you're performing consistently, you're consistently being seen. Consistency is what will get you noticed, you know. And that's one thing that we realize, my DJ and myself, that's something we realize, that the more they see you, the more consistently they see you, the more of a hey, he's actually taking this serious they're going to see you as, you know, versus they see you here 2017 and then 2019 they see you again. Like, they don't see you wherever else they go, you know. It's like being in Ibiza alone was already a statement for us, because they had already seen us on Uber Soca Cruise, they had already seen us Miami Carnival and Rotterdam Carnival. So, you know, so that's 3 stops that they saw us before, and now they see us here, and now they're going to see us a lot of other places again for the remainder of the year, you know.
Okay, I mean, since you done touch on the Ibiza part, how that was? Because that was the main reason why you're up here now, right?
Yes, Ibiza basically came through Holland to get to Spain, and then came back on Thursday just to pass through to get back home on tomorrow. But Ibiza was amazing.
Yeah.
Ibiza was amazing. I had the privilege to open for Marshall in Ibiza. Ibiza was.
How that was?
Ibiza was. It was a feeling that, you know, you can't buy it. You can't buy that feeling. It's something that you really have to cherish for the rest of your life, because now on your resume, open for Marshall Montano, I mean, that speaks for itself.
I mean,
you know?
that's a whole. I find that's a whole other accolade on its own. But the how the vibe was itself in Ibiza.
The vibe, everybody just there to party. Everybody was just there to party, to have fun.
Soca big in Ibiza?
I was just going to ask, did you see more island people?
No, because
traveling there, or
the thing is, what happened is that the promoter, the organizer, he lives in the UK. He lives in London. And he comes to Ibiza. Ibiza is the party capital of this side of the world. So basically he went to Ibiza, and he set up this whole Ibiza Soca Festival. And his following from London comes down. And of course, who follows him? People with Caribbean descent, because Soca is from the Caribbean. So people of Caribbean descent follow him to Ibiza to party. You know,
so there's a lot of black people in the race.
Not necessarily black people, just Caribbean people. Not necessarily black. A lot of Caribbean people. They had maybe 10 people that had no type of Caribbean descent, but everybody either from Trinidad, Barbados, Guyana, Saint Lucia, Grenada, Saint Vincent, somewhere.
That sounds like a whole lot of fun.
Everybody from somewhere in the Caribbean. Somewhere in the Caribbean. We had Randy from Stacia there as well. One Stacia person in the whole list. One Stacia person amongst the whole rest of people.
But I kind of feel like they're accustomed to that, because you don't really see,
don't see much stations around the place.
Station like Sabo. I mean, you might know that.
Anguilla. We had 3 people from Anguilla.
But that's still too good at the station.
It had about 9 or 10 of us from St. Martin.
You see anybody from Sabo?
No.
You see?
Are you wrong? Are you wrong? Leave us Sabons alone. Are you wrong?
How big the venue was, people?
Well, it was different. It was different venues. It was different venues. Like, they had a pre-party.
All the people from Sab are going to drop a dislike now. All them.
They had a pre-party on a Wednesday.
The bottom. Anyway.
Wow.
That's it. We just lost Sab for good.
There was a pre-party on the Wednesday, because it started Thursday and it finished on Monday. On the Wednesday, I had a pre-party, and that was like a sweatbox jam. And there, you can't put a room full of Caribbean people and not have decent AC. And there was hot.
Bye.
And there was hot. And then imagine sweating out your shirt soaking wet, and then have to walk back to your hotel in 12-degree weather.
Ooh.
And then it's saying like somehow you could take out your shirt and just walk. No, it's cold. It's cold. You know, cold. Sweat catching, it shiver up and falling on the ground. The ground cold too. It's like everyone's just cold, but it's like the first night was a sweatbox jam, and then the second night, every night was a sweatbox jam. Unless it was outdoors, everything was sweatbox. But
you ever went to UK?
No,
the UK one yet? Because
we planning on it. We want to go this year. We working on it, but it's still in a pipeline.
Because I was gonna ask if there's any similarities to it. Kai went last year, and some of the jams was really full, like really. But the only thing is, one thing I was surprised with the French people show out.
Yeah, because I mean it's France right there, and it's like a train right up. a boat ride.
But
or
I think it goes straight with the train now. But if you want to go real cheap, you could go with the bus and then the bus go over with the boat. That's how it went once. But that still shocked me in general. The amount of French people that had show up. And,
shout out to the French soca lovers, the French kiss and wine. They always represent.
Yeah, that's where the French kiss and wine.
French kiss and wine and French soca lovers. They always represent.
They had their own art. They had people. I think from artists there from Guadeloupe. I think it was when this man come out. You would swear everybody in there was French. And I love to see that, and I wish St. Maarten had that kind of support for old people, but it's slowly getting there, man.
Support Red Crew.
Even they don't get the love that they should. I find,
but they don't get St. Maarten doesn't get the love that it should.
That too,
it's like,
but you got kind of blame the St. Maarteners about that too, though.
You can't blame them because there aren't many St. Maarteners around the world to begin with. Like, let's say people from France, they have thousands of people that love soca that travel to these soca events, and the thing is, what happens is that amongst all of these islands or countries, they have soca groups. They have the Dutch soca lovers, the French soca lovers, French kiss and wine, German soca junkies. They have the Swiss soca crew, and like they have all these different soca connections within these countries, and they travel together to these places, so they always have representation. So like, let's say for example, if we could get a group of 10, 20 St. Maarteners to go to these different fetes, and let's say for example myself, or Verse, King James, Kenya, REC, wherever we're performing, you have us in the crowd, or you have the St. Maarten soca scene in the crowd. You will always have that representation. But that's the difference between us as St. Martiners and every other country. Grenada have a bunch of people. St. Vincent have people. Dominica have people. Trinidad have people. Barbados have people. We don't have no people around. St. Maarten is already in the minority in St. Maarten.
I feel like there's a lot of St. Maarten people who just fall into Dutch soca lovers, though.
Yeah,
I feel like that's kind of how it happens.
But they still represent St. Maarten. They are Dutch soca lovers, but they still, whenever they go, they still have the St. Maarten flag. But what I mean is that people from St. Maarten, because not every time a St. Maartener who's in Dutch soca lovers will be able to travel. So it's like, if you have people from St. Maarten going with the artist to the festival or wherever, that's better than having to depend on somebody else who's already in another group. Because I'm pretty sure there are people from French side who are in French kiss and wine or French soca lovers that represent the French side or represent France because they share one flag. I'm pretty sure that there are people there. And let's say, for example, when people like Art Brothers or Tolly Boys, Oswald, whoever, whenever they perform, they're there. They're there. Or even Kenya as well, because Kenya from the French, they're there.
Oh, you from the French side?
Kenya from the French side.
Okay.
They're there, but like from the Dutch side, it's like, I don't know. I think we have this thing where I don't know. They show support, but they don't show it in a magnitude where it could resonate. Where the vibrations are felt. Shout out to Mersey. Mersey performed in Ibiza with me as well. Mersey came out, all the Grenadian people, regardless of where they were standing up, they came to the front with their Grenada flag. Grenada was there in full force, singing along to his songs, So it's like that representation. We had Seman people there, so I have to say shout out to the Semanas that was there. Shout out to all the Semanas that was there. But in comparison to the other countries or the other islands, it's not really something. It is something, but in comparison to them, so that's why I just try not to compare. Be thankful for who was there, the supporters that were there, So
it can always be better.
It can always be more, Hopefully, in due time, they realize that there's benefits in traveling to different places when your country is performing or when your country is going to be highlighted.
But you see, I think that's another factor as well. Only the past maybe like 2-3 years we're actually seeing you coming up here and like doing different things as well.
Is true.
I think only last year was the first time Kimbe and them come up, I believe, or maybe 2 years ago was the first time they come up.
2 years ago.
2 years ago, and that was or event, I was like, boy, these man coming out, okay, cool, boy, you know, I'll go and check it. But because we now have some representation on stage, so like a reason for us to come and show out now instead of just like the normal people that you're seeing all the time.
True.
Like, I wonder how much it has to do with population size, though. Population size and just like how much it's internationally recognized, I guess, that the music of this island is an actual export. In the sense that the artists believe it, the government supports in some type of way that there is different things, I don't know, different events and different things that happen on the island to support things. And I understand everything can't come from government, but I just think on population size is a big thing. Like you said, there wasn't no Sabre and Station in these places, and these people are smaller than us. And it's like there was one person, you got to appreciate that one person because the population already so small. And then you got to split that and be like, okay, so who actually likes soca? And then split that again, who likes soca and who could travel? And then like there's a lot of things that go into that.
I think that kind of goes a little bit with what I was saying before. If they had a soca artist from Sabre that was performing, I think the Sabons would come out in more force. I think at least. Because they don't have, on stage, they don't have no Sabre. I mean, they got soca artists from Sabre?
No.
That
not that I know of.
Yeah, not that I know of either. So I think if they had representation in that field, maybe it would be a little bit different.
I'm sure there probably would be.
Before we get too far, you had specific questions you wanted to ask Rumer, right?
Yeah, I had a couple things, but we kind of touched on some of them. Give me a second. Say something kind of.
But with that, what I want to ask, how many carnivals you actually participated in?
As in St. Maarten or around the
No,
world?
around different Caribbean islands.
I've been to Sabre, Statia, Anguilla, Tortola, Rotterdam, Miami, and now Ibiza.
Okay, which one for you so far?
Oh, and the French side.
French side. Okay, well, I would still consider that St. Maarten, but I mean, we could split on the French side, that side. Which one was most enjoyable for you so far?
By Miami, boy.
Why Miami?
Miami is Miami was a whole different vibe.
How come?
Miami was just it's like, you know how St. Maarten and Holland, you always, when you was growing up, you always hearing about Holland.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so going to Rotterdam and that being my first carnival performing abroad, that will always be the one I remember the most. But the most enjoyable was Miami, because Miami was just a whole different vibe. Miami.
Okay, so we talking about like party wise, we talking about woman wise, we talking about rum wise. Which one is trifecta?
Well, I don't drink alcohol, but
no,
I don't drink alcohol.
Rumer don't enjoy the rum.
I find that's a little contradictory there.
No, like I tell you, my name is my mother didn't name me Romari in hopes that I would drink rum. Okay.
Okay.
Done right there. But no, Miami was just like, because it was just party after party and fete after fete after fete.
But was it quality parties? Like you actually enjoy each and every one of them?
It was quality, yeah. I have to send a big shout out to Carnival Lux one time. She hooked us up while we were up there. Yo, it was just...
And so now, I just curious in general. Women-wise. Obviously, Miami. Miami has its own stigma when it comes to like beautiful women and all that kind of stuff like that. But
no, the USA women didn't necessarily come out. It was the Caribbean women.
Okay.
Like, yo, listen, don't let nobody ever tell you the Caribbean don't have the prettiest women. Don't ever let them tell you that.
I can't deny that.
Oh, they had women from everywhere, and there was oh my gosh, Miami and the woman.
Okay, so now my next question is, they stush as in like
no,
they not to say you don't go and like harass somebody.
No,
and
you just
walk
want to wine. You want to wine your teeth, you wine, and you go about your business, and you just continue going about your business. Sounds
like I gotta check Miami.
Why
I asked that question is because a lot of people, while I was down in St. Maarten, I had a debate with some people saying that St. Maarten Carnival, as many issues that they had for the big 58th and whatnot, I still find, from what I understand from other people here, is one of the enjoyable carnivals. To me, we could almost put ours, maybe not as big as Trinidad, obviously, but I find that we get, from what I see, we get in there. How you feel if we have to compare? 'Cause obviously, when it comes to carnival, Trinidad is like the pinnacle. From what I would understand and from my me
personally, being in this thing for the little while that I have been in it, me personally, I honestly think that our carnival is too long. That's why we haven't been able to pass Trinidad yet. Trinidad only has Juve, Parade. That's the only 3 things Trinidad have. Everything else is fets outside. The fets outside, because, like, let's say, for example, last year for Miami Carnival, they had 84 parties. They have never had that many parties. We went to 12 or 13. 12 or 13 fets in the week of the Miami Carnival.
Wait, in the 1 week they had 84 parties?
84 parties around Miami, Broward, Central County, wherever you want. Around the capital of Miami, and then they had some in Winewood and some up, not Fort Lauderdale, not so far up. But they had spread out. And it's like, now you force the people to choose. And that was one of my things why it was enjoyable, and that's why I love it so much, because the adrenaline to go from one fete to the next one, to the next one, to the next one. Is like, it gave you like a taste of Trinidad. And then for the parade, when you actually cross the stage, that it gave me chills, because, you know, I never cross the stage, because where we from, we cross Pondfield, we don't cross the stage. You know, so it's like we don't necessarily get to cross a stage, and you know, so when we cross a stage in Miami, it was something that gave me chills, because it's like, so this is how it kind of feels, you know, in comparison to Trinidad. But me personally, our carnival is too long, and that's why SCDF never has enough money, or they always have to ask for so much monies from government, because they need to do this for 2 weeks, and people don't see that. Me personally, if they put carnival to just 2 parades, Juve and so
I was just gonna say,
opening Juve, opening Calypso, Road March, Soca Rumble, Juve, international show, parade, another international show, done. It's too much. Or you could, if you want to consider yourself a feta, put Juve and parade on the same day. That's me. That's me. Because that's what they do in Trinidad. That's what they do in Trinidad. They do Juve, and then right after Juve, they go parade.
You go get your costumes and all that.
And you go parade. Because Juve in Trinidad, it takes you along a specific route. They have like the trucks, they have like 7, 8,
but
9
they got more space to walk with
But
everything like that.
St. Maarten's so big. St. Maarten could fit like 1,700 times in Trinidad. St. Maarten, you go around the pond, bam, everybody go home, come back for parade. You don't have to do the same long route from Jose Lake to the village, but you could shorten it. You could start by maybe Celebration Palace or by Prince Bernard Bridge or whatever the case would be, and just go around town. Parade or carnival does not have to be so long.
I'm curious to see what people in the comments would have to say.
Yeah, that's interesting.
You know what's funny? Aruba own like long like shit now. Cause like I was one over a span of like, I think like,
I mean, you could have it. The thing is, you could have your fetes over a period of time. That's how they have the road to carnival events. That's fine. But carnival itself, there's nowhere else in the world that carnival is longer than a week. The legit carnival season is more than nowhere. Everybody goes to Trinidad for carnival Monday and Tuesday. Everybody goes Jamaica for carnival. When you say carnival day, that's parade day. So our carnival day is April 30th. That's Grand Parade. That's our carnival day. So if you look on there's a calendar with all the carnivals around the world, you see April 30th by us, because that's when our Grand Parade is. So you would only see the dates of the Grand Parades around the world. And that's what people fly for. You know, they see that date. Okay, let me see what shows they have around it.
Aruba got a lot though. Aruba got like, because they got Fackle, then they got Lightning, Santa Claus Town, then they got Grand Parade, Santa Claus Town, and they have like other shit going on. So like the actual main parades where everybody on the road, we got like 5.
But they would go to the one that's most talked about, or they would stay to catch at least 2 of them, and then they would fly out to the next one.
But then we have Juve,
because Aruba and Trinidad is around the same time. So that if, depending on how the dates fall, they would go Aruba first and then Trinidad, or go Trinidad and then Aruba, or however it falls.
Like my only thing with this is I feel like your proposal is kind of like, it's great for the international soca people, but I feel like it kind of takes away for the locals.
No, you take away, yes, but the thing is, when you want too much, you just spoil yourself. You know, Carnival has been long. So it's not something that would change overnight. From since I know Carnival
for 50 years.
from since I don't know about 50 years.
As long as I've been alive, this is the Carnival that I've been
Exactly.
seeing.
It's a week and a half,
But
more
my thing is with the argument that was proposed with the whole comparison to Trinidad. If you want to be compared to Trinidad, you need to make it short and sweet. That's the perspective. They need to make it short and sweet. Trinidad is short and sweet. It leaves you with a tasty amount that you want more.
You still want more. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
If you give them too much.
But I do like, even though I say, sorry not to cut you off, but some of the things I don't know if it's this year they implemented. I ain't been, this is like my first Carnival in almost 10 years.
But I feel like the village and all that.
I had enjoyed Bacchanal Sunday a lot.
Bacchanal Sunday was dope.
Bacchanal Sunday was a fit.
But if I didn't have so much work to do school-wise, I would have loved to see the full day break. Because I didn't get to see, but I didn't get to stay there for the whole day break. I had responsibilities. I had shit to do. I had to go home and like write papers and stuff. But I had seen videos from it after, and it looked like it was crazy. It looked like it was good. But my only thing with that is there was too much time in between
sets.
Yeah, so people start to get tired. People start to get lazy. People just want to go home. They get sleepy. If they had put official on one time,
official.
I think it was official.
TG.
If they had put,
it was Tonic Band, TG, Smarlax, and
because Nicholas
is Tonic.
Tonic, okay. See, I really don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Magic.
If they had put, shout out to Magic. If they had put them on, because this man rock the crowd. Them man play good. They perform. I find.
I mean, they play together almost every Friday at Red Piano, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so. Yeah, but if they had put them on earlier, I think a lot of more people that was there that had stayed throughout the whole thing. More people would have stayed, and it would have been it would be a more hype vibe. Cause the most of the hype people had went home, change, come back, get a little 2-3 hours sleep, and then come back.
You know why it's that late? Nobody didn't sound check.
Okay,
so we sound check 4 a.m. on the spot.
Okay, that for those who didn't hear that properly, the reason why they didn't do it is because sound check. But then that's okay. That's a whole different something then. Okay. Okay, so based off of that sound effect there now, let me ask you this question: how you find SCDF perform this year as an organization? As an
organization, this year, I think the hype was too much. I think me personally, I think it was overhyped.
Overhyped, or they couldn't live up. They didn't just live up to it. Period.
Well, that's what I mean. Like they put so much emphasis on it that when it was there, it was like, oh, this is a lot. It's like not necessarily saying that they couldn't handle the workload, but it was the demand behind it wasn't necessarily upheld to most people. Some people say, oh, they hype us up and then this happened, or they hype us up and then that happened. A lot of people have a lot of things to say about SCDF this year. But I mean, my thing is, I just happy we still had a Carnival. That's my thing. Like the thing, the two shows that the SCDF promoted the most were the two shows that had the highest attendance ever in the village, which was Marshall and One Love. So International Soca Night and the reggae night.
I really didn't expect the reggae night to pull out that many people.
Barris Hammond and Popcorn.
Barris Hammond, yeah. I sorry, Popcorn is trash. Like,
I mean, he could be trash, but I mean, there are still diehard fans.
Obviously, because
I mean that they still managed to pull off. I mean, nothing changed between 2014 or 15 when he was last year and now. Besides, he has a lot more hits. Nothing changed, but just because of the name is what got people out there. Barris Hammond and Popcorn. I'm pretty sure had you put, like, let's say for example, let's say,
I don't know, I just assumed Ja Rule and then what you call it, Ashanti.
Yeah,
I thought that would have been one of the highest attended.
But don't forget, Ja Rule been on Samaritan already, won.
But then don't forget too the days that they were on.
There was Kerry Hilson too.
Yeah.
Soulful Night was on a weekday. That's one of the reasons why it was on a weekday.
True.
People have to work tomorrow.
But then Juve was on a weekday too.
Juve's a holiday.
Juve.
The 27th of April is a holiday.
That's true.
So it would never.
And Juve is Juve.
Yeah.
I mean, people making it a holiday if they don't get off.
Biggs,
like,
I know some people that stop like 10 o'clock and went home and go walk. I mean, go walk.
It was a little tense, yeah, because like that was like the first time. Like I've been to Maarten Carnival before, like one time many years ago, but I wasn't ready for just the length of the parades. Like I wasn't expecting Juve to run till 12 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh, yeah, that's about normal.
And parade, like,
Nah,
I was there from 10 o'clock in the morning to like 8
they had a lot of gaps and stuff like that in between.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
I wasn't
Listen,
expecting that.
When the head of parade was passed in Salt Pickers roundabout behind the police station, the back of the parade didn't pass Old Van Dorp yet.
Yep.
There by Plaza China.
Yep.
So both of them were basically on Panfield at the same time. And back of the parade still had to go through Front Street and everything.
And that's all with the costume mishaps. That's all. Imagine everybody actually had to get this shit on time. Or properly. But
like
overall, what would you say is
the
your
parade
take
wasn't
on
moving.
58 Carnival? Though?
Overall?
It was good, it was bad, you're satisfied with it? Like you said, they overhype it too much in your opinion?
From my personal point of view, I didn't get to enjoy it because of my competitions and how they were spaced out throughout the Carnival season. You know, it was like, it was competition, show, Juve, show, competition, show. Well, the next day was parade, but it was like, it was crammed for me. And then seeing how we still had to prepare to go Ibiza, and we have a lot of stuff we're working on in the pipelines. It was a lot for me personally, for the team to actually sit down and digest and necessarily enjoy Carnival. That's one of the reasons why I still find Carnival is too long too, because people that are in Carnival don't necessarily get to enjoy it like the people who just come to enjoy Carnival.
That's
you know, people that actually put their money or their monies into Carnival don't necessarily get to enjoy it because it's just 2.5, 3 weeks of just walk. You gotta go, you gotta be going.
So you was happy when they bought that mumu?
I wasn't even there when they bought the mumu. I was in Holland when they bought the mumu.
Oh shit. Okay, well, I mean, I guess that would make sense. If you go in from one, you can go in from one to the next day. That can close, Carnival can close anyway. So
You know, so it's like, I mean, it's like certain things you just have to prioritize, and the competitions are priority. And
definitely,
because of that priority that you made, because of that what you made priority is like, okay, you gotta preserve yourself, you gotta remember not to do too much. Me being a feta, me being the person I am when I have soca music, I like to jump up and ball out. I couldn't ball out because I'd save my voice. Voice still ended up going, had to perform Soca Rumble host, and then I had to find my voice back for Road March, and it still wasn't there. But it was like, it's just having the time to actually enjoy Carnival. I didn't really have that this year. And it's bittersweet because it's 50 years. I mean, Carnival was still memorable. It wasn't 100%.
It was more work than pleasure.
Yeah, because there was a lot of things going on in the backgrounds that we had to prepare for, that you will see in the future. Like Ibiza was one of them. We still have a lot of things in the pipeline that you will see come to pass and whatnot. Like one of them that's starting when we get back. Well, for next year, I'll be working on. It's called the Protege Project. Basically, my brother has this project that he's working on, and I'm one of the partners with him. We basically going back into the schools and trying to revive Calypso and Road March, because there hasn't been a junior Calypso or Road March competition in the last 4 or 5 years, and if you look behind us, there's nobody coming up that actually taking it serious. So we going back into the schools and trying to revive it so that 2020 Carnival for the 51st year we could have a junior Calypso Road March competition again.
And who you doing this with?
My brother.
Because like what Kana say, you know, if I had no questions, and one of the questions I had was like, in your years in the music industry, like what steps are there being done to kind of to push local artists, to encourage them from a government perspective, or if there is anything like that?
Nothing is not, well, I can't say nothing is being done, because I have to send a huge shout out to the St. Maarten Tourist Bureau, because without them I wouldn't be here right now, because they have supported me tremendously, and I have to give my hats to them. You know, I have to really thank them for putting their beliefs and their support in me. But they would only support somebody that if they wouldn't support someone that doesn't put in the work. You need to put in the work. You need to show that you are worth putting money behind of for them to support you. If you just say, yeah, I want some money to go away, I mean, that ain't really helping them, you know. You need to be basically an island ambassador, you know. Like, listen, come to St. Maarten or promote St. Maarten. Always have your flag. That's why I have this. Everywhere I go, have a flag. T-shirts, whatnot. Like, if you see my suitcases have St. Maarten bag tags and all my shirts. I have all my St. Maarten tourism shirts. I gave them up when I was in Ibiza. I had a girl, she had it on, she took a picture of Marshall in it. You know, all these different things you need to be able to do when you're away to give the island a boost. You know, so they need to get a return on investment, basically. And if you don't show that, if you don't put in the work, I mean, yes, it's difficult because this didn't happen overnight. You know, I ain't just make one song or been doing this for 1 year.
I was going to ask if you think the fact that you had win 3 consecutive competitions back to back, I mean, you know as Mr. Three-Peat, if I'm mistaken.
Yes.
I mean, the man rocking the shirt.
I mean, I can't, because it happened, I can't say differently. You know, it's like, I can't say no, it's not because I won 3 years in a row. I mean, because it has happened, so I can't say what would have been if it didn't, you know, but regardless, had I won the 3 years or not, the work was still going to be put in. You know, maybe not in a way that it has already panned out. Maybe in a different way, or maybe things would have gone a different route. I don't know, but the way that it went led me here. You know, so it's like, that is one of the main reasons why I push myself so much, because nobody can believe in you for you. Nobody can give you the determination for you. You have to do that on your own. You have to find it on your own, you know?
That's definitely true.
You have to believe that on your own. Ain't nobody going to help you get somewhere if you don't want to help yourself get there.
But let me ask a different question then. Like, because from that answer, to me it sounds as though you've been supported. You definitely receive help in certain areas, but I was also, like you say, because you've been pushing, because you've been putting in the work. But just from what you see in terms of like other artists, people coming up on the scene, like, is there things that you feel government should step on in, or they actually stepping up with and doing this and supporting and helping in certain ways? Or if not, like, is there certain things that you feel government could start doing, whether it's like local events on the island, or maybe create some kind of fund to help bolster or encourage people to pursue music or something like that?
Well,
arts program at the school or some shit, like.
I can't say that they aren't stepping up to the plate. It's just that they can't because they cash strapped. The entire government is cash strapped.
Yeah.
You know,
everything since Irma.
They're trying to balance a budget for like 5 years now. They still can't get it right. You know, Minister Perry Kearlings, he trying to do certain things. Trying, you know, Michael Ferrier tried. All the past finance ministers tried. Still can't balance a budget yet. We always in a deficit. I don't know who we owe. I don't understand how we owe these people money if we circulate in the same. But a whole different conversation.
Yeah,
that's
a whole different topic.
But, you know, it's not like... So I can't say that they don't want to, but they can't. They don't have the ability and the funds to, you know. The Seman Tourist Bureau or the Ministry of TLUP, I know they have like set budgets for certain things, like let's say for island ambassadorship or to help somebody promote the island in whatever way. They have set budgets for that. They have budgets for promotion, like on cruise ships, airplanes, online. They have set budgets for that, you know. So like, let's say, okay, you're going to win now. We could give you like a $300. This time we're going to we give you a $500. This time we're going to look some bag tags and a hotel or whatever the case would be. You know, it's not necessarily always in a form of money, but they just give you something and be like, listen, this is what we could do for you this time. Make it work or see what you could do with it. You know, it's not necessarily always something about, oh, I need money, give me money, give me money, give me money. But you need to be able to do something for them too. You know?
I think
ask if there's any programs or anything like that kind of like what you was talking about, the protege thing, if they were to get behind something like that and just maybe, I don't know, help network you or connect you with somebody that it could help, or I don't know, just to get behind these type of things, or just support local artists in general?
Well, I mean, they do support. I cannot lie. They do support local entrepreneurs, local artists, local businesses, local people that show that they putting in the work, like
that they actually serious.
That
about
they
it and not
actually
just saying,
serious. That they putting in the work. You know what I mean? Your first time doing something, or as you first start, is always the most difficult because you don't have a name yet, and you just want that one person to believe in you.
Tell us about it.
You know, you always want that. You always want that one person to give you that push. You know, and it might come from a place that's unexpected. You never know, but that's when you need to find a determination on your own to do it on your own. You know, doing it on your own shows more than asking for help. Even asking for help isn't a bad thing, but doing it on your own the first time or the first few times.
But because you say, like how you say that the government are not strapping money, I feel like the private sector need to step up more where that's concerned.
Well, I mean, there's
will have more of a role to play.
There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that can be done, that isn't being done, that should be done, but
yeah, but we can say that a lot about semantics.
You know, so it's like
it's
like just be thankful and make use of what you have now. You know, of who's paying mind to you, who's investing in you now, you know. So
focus on the positive.
The tourist bureau, and the Ministry of TIA, they have and the Ministry of Education and Culture, they have believed in me and my brand, in us as a duo. They have been believing in us and actually realizing and understanding the worth that we have, so that when we go away, when we go into a party, we shell the place, basically.
And I would ask, like, would you say, or do you think that has anything to do with your upbringing in some ways, that certain doors might have been open for you that might not have been for other people pursuing a similar route? Just talking about like your family, the people around you, how they was all in music and things like that.
Upbringing in the sense of what morals and values they instilled in you. You know, because you can't teach punctuality, you can't teach determination. You could guide somebody in these things.
Okay,
I was brought up with manners. Good morning, good afternoon. Be respectable. Be on time. You know, be presentable. These type of things. You know, these things take you a lot further than you actually think. You know, walking into a place and actually saying good afternoon or shaking somebody's hand takes you a longer way than you actually think. You know, you cannot teach somebody how to be punctual. You could tell them, hey, be on time, be on time, be on time. You could tell them you need to do this at this time, you need to do this at this time. You know, so it's like my father being a police officer, he always had to be punctual. So that helped me in becoming a punctual person, because he was always on time. Every morning, wake up 5:15, you bathe, eat, get dressed. By 6:10, we out to the house every day. So I had 55 minutes to get ready every day to go to school every day for 6 years. And that's what helped me become punctual. I always had to be on time, otherwise he wouldn't necessarily go and leave me, but he would be upset. He would be upset because he had to work Simpson.
And you want here.
I want here in the car, right? He cussing me.
The whole car.
Yeah, you know, so like you had to be punctual, you had to be on time, you know? It's like those little things, you know, tuck your shirt and keep your shirt in your pants when you're in school.
Your father old school like mine.
Don't let me have to see where your shirt out of your pants. You know,
or if you come home, your uniform dirty, like that.
Yeah, you know, like things like that. You know, it's just different things that help mold and add to what you would encounter in life. You know, like let's say for example, if I was brought up being a disrespectful or not learning how to be understanding to certain situations, to certain people, a lot of people would get cussed out, and then I would probably be a bad guy or be looked at in a negative light. But because I understand, and you know, I could see a situation going wrong, but like, you know, it's okay, don't worry about it, already happened, let's just focus on the solution. It don't make sense to argue about a problem that already happened, you know, just try to focus on the solution, because the problem already happened. It don't make no sense to argue about that. Argue about how you could fix the problem now, you know, and just certain things like that. It gets you a lot further than you actually think. Like people don't see
true.
that.
But that's also like how you said prior before, like your mind state towards it, like how you view it, how you take it. You can't really teach that. I mean,
You can't.
To a certain extent, you could teach, like, you know, you could guide somebody to it.
You
But you
can't
can't.
teach
the
it.
most, the only way you could really teach that is by example, like you were saying with
Exactly.
your father, because you see he was an on-time person and you saw that was your model.
You
if
lead
you don't
by-
got nothing
you
else
lead
to
by
reference,
example, you
you can
know?
just kind of adapt and copy that, follow that.
I mean, my father
Exactly.
was the same way, but just the fact that I just don't want to hear him out cussing me all the time is why more I like followed that suit. Not necessarily because I saw it, because he could have been like, this man was the first man I know to start wearing Clarks and stuff like that. Before Cartel come up with something like this, man been rocking Clarks. So I mean, like, shut in pants, all of that old school vibe, same way how I grew up. So I mean, say one, say two. But with that being said, with all that being said,
I don't know the question.
Oh, go through.
Cause you sound like you
yeah, but I check in time. You check that was
I know.
But go through.
I wanted to ask, like, how difficult is it for you to get gigs in general, like on St. Martin and outside of St. Martin?
That was a good one.
Because
Okay.
it kind of ties in. Like, I want to know, like,
It's
are there
only
a decent amount of events and stuff like that, or places for artists to perform at and things like that on St. Martin and elsewhere as well?
okay. Well, to put it like this, it's easier to book a DJ for a party than an artist, because if you have a lineup of great DJs that know how to select music, you can always have a good crowd. If you have DJ Blaze, DJ Outcast, DJ Siwo, DJ Vibes on a lineup, you know that's a party, that's a turn up. You have no question about it. They will always select, their selections will always be top, you know? But like, let's say, for example, you have an artist, he only have like one song, 2 songs.
Yeah.
It's like,
That also the killer vibe of the party too, I find
you know,
sometimes.
so it's like, it's more of a gamble to put on a live act, unless that live act has like
Consistent.
a hot song, like a hot song. Then it's like, okay, you put them on. But on the island, it's not necessarily I wouldn't say not easy, but the event needs to be there. You know, like if it's just a regular Saki night, Lotus night, you know, it's like you might get.
What does your performance schedule look like for yourself? Like,
My performance schedule, the only performances I have scheduled right now are away or abroad. You can't, I'll put this out here right now, you can't expect me for Rotterdam's Rumer Carnival again. Soca versus Dancehall, Friday night, I hear.
Wait, that was next week. You coming up again?
No, not this one, the one for Carnival. For
Oh,
Rumer
okay. I was
And-
like, I know SVD celebrated 10 years
Yeah,
next
they're
week.
celebrating 10 years next week. And you could also find me on the road for Carnival, Rotterdam's Rumer Carnival. With
Okay,
Blends.
you see, now that I know this, I might actually go. I wasn't. Who the hell going? Okay, I wasn't.
I never
personally-
went, so I don't know
exactly,
if
and
it's
we up
true
here.
or trash.
We up here. How long?
Bye, let we go. As a link up.
You know? So like, yeah, that's what I need
We
to
gonna
do.
film my
I
lip
need to
sync,
start to
put
go
it on
places
Instagram,
as a
yeah.
No, but I was gonna say, because you going now,
Promote
I could have
ourselves,
more
man.
reason. Like, all right, cool. I'm
group.
going to go check Rumer.
Friday night, Soca
Yes.
versus Dancehall.
Precis.
Rumer will be
Okay.
performing.
Cool,
You know,
you see?
and there's
That
a lot
reason
of
to
other
go.
things that I can't necessarily say now, but it will come out eventually. But internationally, it's easy to get gigs. You just have to reach there. Like for example, somebody like me who's still making his name, I have to reach there. Versus
Yep.
people like Kes, Bungie, Marshall, Lyrical, Skinny, they done there.
Yep.
You know, so it's easier for them to be on an event than me. But I just have to reach out. I just link the promoter, hey, I want to perform. You could give me 20 minutes. He said, yeah, sure, just reach.
So that's how it is. You just have to contact the promoter itself. You just have
If
to like.
you want to be on the event, and you want to perform, that's how you have to do it when you
Okay.
come in. But when you done made it,
they gonna
People
come
reaching
and
out.
ask
they can
you.
come to you.
Okay. That makes sense. But I mean,
So it's basically like a buy-in.
okay. But you feel your success on St. Martin is what led you to this, or you feel like this would have happened anyway.
No,
Or-
it goes hand in hand because
Okay.
because of the support back home, the success of the music back home, and the push from home is what helped me reach here. You know, everybody gets a different level of push.
That's definitely
everybody
true.
gets a different level of push, but not everybody knows what to do with their level of push. You know, like let's say for example, if back home I was getting the same support as Kes would get, Marshall would get, I could be a lot further. But because we don't necessarily have the numbers to get that kind of support, it's like, okay, what can I do with the support I have now? You know, so I take what I have, I use it, I utilize it, and I try to make my name abroad. And every time I perform somewhere else, I get at least 50 more fans. At least.
That's good. Because I was not only bigging up yourself, you're also bigging up Martin. You're also showing that we have a soca scene.
It's not necessarily even soca, it's just music. People that love music, you know? So it's like, this because there are very seldom people that are self-made. People always like to come up and say they're self-made. No.
I definitely agree with that.
No,
you have a team push you, somebody help you,
push you,
or give you a chance or open a door or something.
And St. Maarten is who pushed me. St. Maarten pushed me. And 2017 was my pinnacle year for the fact that that was the year when I won my 3rd crown. That year I went on to Tortola to compete in the Soca Monarch down there. That was also the year with Irma. So all those things happened that year, but the support was still there. You know, it's like, it's just once you get the support, I mean, you would always want more support, but once you could utilize the support that you have, then you're good to go.
I guess we more or less got that issue as well. Not issue per se, but we still try to see how we could utilize the support we could get with the podcast. Because I mean, if you think it's difficult, get some other people to support you for soca. Try a podcast.
I mean, yeah, the podcast.
Ask all the rappers, but I mean, think we need to ask them. You know,
yeah,
all the rappers who's claiming and cussing all the soca artists, people like you.
Nah, I mean, they cussing the soca artists. They just, I believe they more.
It's more the people. It's more the people than the soca artists.
Just gravitate more towards soca.
Because my thing is, for me, soca just feels more like me than hip hop or rap. You know?
Now I'm saying, like, with you, I can understand it completely.
You could ask the guy behind the camera. We used to rap together. We used to rap together for years.
Rashid, you don't
rap? Oh, you don't know Richie?
Rashid?
Man,
man's been holding out on us.
Are you sleeping on Rich? Are you sleeping on Rich?
Next week you're the guest man.
Are you sleeping on Rich?
I'm ready for this.
We had
What's your rap name?
Richie.
Oh, okay.
We had a group called Anonymous. It was him, myself, Chantal Richardson, Yusuf Saligram, Jason Merrick, and I think that was it, right? Yeah, it was
Jason used to rap.
It was us. Yusuf wasn't a part of it at the end, but he was still part of the Anonymous family. At the end, it was just Rashid, myself, Jason, and Chantal. But we end up with three of us.
Chantal as in Shanti?
Shanti, yeah.
Okay.
You know, it's like
Big up Shanti.
we used to make music together. We just used to vibe together, and while rapping, I always used to go, you know, like just push. But then after that, like when I started to understand what Carnival really is, I was like, this feels more like me than hip hop, because you know hip hop you have to fit a certain image. Soca, we don't care about K image. Soca, everybody what less? My shame box mash up. My grandmother mash up my shame box.
And I definitely think that is one of the biggest appeals to soca, especially for me. Exactly, like anybody could come and just enjoy themselves. Once you having fun and give that vibe and that energy, you're welcome. It's not necessarily that same vibe with hip hop. Like a lot is like, okay, so what that white boy doing here? Or what this one doing here? Or how he dressed like this? Or how he think like that? So nobody don't give a shit. Once you pelt in ways, then that's it.
That's it.
Once you pelt in ways and throwing bottle.
Listen,
I mean, what more you can really ask for, though? To be quite honest.
I see what you're saying.
And you know that the funny thing is, the people that has judge people the most and mind the most business is the same people that celebrate soca, Caribbean people. We the same, don't mind my business, leave me alone, but we the ones to judge the most.
You're not wrong at all.
It's so contradicting, but that's just who we are.
That's people in general, man.
That's just who we are. But no, there's something about Caribbean people are special.
No, Caribbean people on a whole nother level.
Are you trying to get dragged out? I trying to leave Caribbean people.
But you acting like we from the Caribbean.
You don't pull long Sabre people and now you want to complain.
You
want to complain now you say?
All the people from Sabre click.
That pull up, I feel like I could say what I say about Sabre.
Because they have less people.
You know why? Yeah.
No, because what I said is not a lie. The legit area is called the bottom. Nobody can tell me that you ain't from the. If you from the bottom, you're from the bottom. Nah. Nobody can't tell me no different. I got good friends from the bottom, but it don't change the fact that they from the bottom and they live in the bottom.
It sounds like Dr. Evil.
My God.
For those who don't really know about the island of Sabre, there's a specific district that's pretty
the capital of Sabre. The capital of Sabre.
The capital is the bottom, okay? You just give me more food.
That's unfortunate.
There's a district on Sabre, which I've been told now is the capital. It's legit called the bottom. So they couldn't. Anyway, I gotta stop. I gotta stop there. I gotta stop right there.
But yeah, market that.
I don't think they should.
They don't market it.
I really don't think they
do.
I really don't
market
think they
it
should.
as the unspoiled queen. That's how they market it.
That's
true. Yeah, I've heard that.
They do the whole island. They don't separate.
They don't specify what.
That's like us saying like we gonna like advertise Dutch water.
I am not getting into that one with you. I love all my Dutch quarter fans, all my Dutch quarter people.
First
Here on your own.
By Sabre gun, Dutch quarter gun. Who more you want to insult?
Dutch quarter too. I mean, it's okay. But
we still got a couple minutes. You want to insult anybody else?
But I mean, I could go for a while.
Alright.
If I really want to go that far. But
no, we good.
I mean, Kana always saying how we got like 17 viewers and like 5 of them gone already. So.
But I mean, that's okay. We can get 5 more. Five more.
All right.
Which one are you want to get into now? Because we guess we just trying to go above. Below about 2 hours. The maximum 2 hours. You got about, let's say, maximum a half hour left. Are you really
we don't do this thing?
Are you really want to get into that topic right now?
Before that, I have one question. That would be Mr.
You forever got one question.
Yeah,
I just catch
you have anything that you feel that we missed that we didn't touch on that you'd like our listeners to know? For example, what coming next? If you got, what's the next track? What's coming next from?
Well, what I could tell you now, if you're still watching.
They're listening. They can't see no more.
The camera dead at this point. After like an hour and change,
okay, to the 12 people that are listening, if you still
nah, man. At this point, it got like 3.
So the people that are listening still, follow me on all social media platforms. At It's King Rumer social. So that's SoundCloud, YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, Amazon, Deezer. Listen, any music streaming platform you could think of, my music is on there. Follow me, King Rumer. Same thing for my DJ CO. Follow us on everything: Snapchat, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Follow us. Make sure you like us. Add us to your playlist. Make sure that you get the vibes, you get the movement. You stay up to date. You subscribe so that when the new tunes drop and the new mixes drop, you're the first one to hear it.
You could tell this man used to be on the radio.
Yeah, but you could tell from the start, like, he's very communicative.
Very what?
Communicative.
Like what she said earlier.
She said communicative, but don't worry, it's okay.
That's how it's pronounced.
You only got 3 listeners, it's okay.
Right? That's how you pronounce
communicative.
it?
Actually, I forgot to see your just number.
Okay, I'm the only one. Alright, we will leave it there because then I'm gonna be told to mind my own business, them kind of one. Anyway. What I did want to tell you though is big up on that tune Permission. Mm-hmm. That's a big tune.
Thank you very much.
Since on that, the whole shit that was going on in the States make you write that song or give you the inspiration to write that song?
States? That's St. Maarten.
No, I know, but with the whole around, if I'm mistaken, around when he released that time, they had a whole controversy, not whole controversy, but the whole era of like sexual abuse. This one getting locked up, this one getting locked up now.
No.
That's what I mean.
You saying the Me Too movement?
More or less the Me Too movement.
That had, I mean,
I didn't
even think about it, but I had zero to do about it. It was basically it was a funny story, just turning something into entertainment. It was a story where a tattoo was designed by someone and they put it on their skin, and then someone
You
took
didn't
this.
see that story, that whole situation?
And
It's sorry. I thought it was normal.
no, she modified it. Okay, I can
That shit
admit
was ridiculous.
the first girl modified it a little bit, and she put it on her hand right here, and then someone took the same tattoo and put it at the same spot, and basically the girl asked like, but you know, I appreciate and admire that you took my tattoo and whatnot, but you could at least ask me for permission to use my design and stuff like that, whatnot.
Oh, so this is a whole Facebook something?
Yeah. And then the other girl was like, why should I ask you for permission for you to do something with my money and whatnot. And I was like,
The whole concept of where that controversy come from was like really permission about a fucking tattoo. Like
permission, asking permission about a tattoo. So
That's just beautiful.
so I was like, okay, let me see if I could make a song based off of a situation happening. And that song really showed me how quick I could work under pressure, because that song was written, produced, recorded, mixed and mastered and filmed all within 24 hours. All within 24 hours. So I had to send a big shout out to my team, Axelar Studios, Tito Beats, Nick and R Creative. We put that together. Friday, I start to write the song. I finish it Saturday, record it Saturday. Song drops Sunday.
Okay. But I just saying, that was a big tune.
Oh, and shout out to Super Kid on the design of the flyer one time too.
Hey, shout out Super. That was a tune I definitely really enjoyed from you that I could say like off the top of my head.
Thank you.
That was a big tune.
And that song was just, a no for that. That was my first song for the year, and I didn't even plan it. I didn't even plan to make it.
Some of the best things would be unplanned.
Yeah, except pregnancy, I guess. I don't know.
Oh no!
Segue.
What
Oh
a
my
segue.
god!
Now I'm checking the man.
Segue.
Oh
But smooth. The man, that's smooth.
You
Segue.
can see the man could have reached to Super Train you good, man. So Super Train you good.
Bye.
Segue.
Talking
Kana.
about okay, good segue there. So
I don't, but are you going to that?
Kana, you take the lead. You
I
was
mean,
eager
we
to
got
talk
time.
about
We
this.
still doing this?
I don't.
Can't get too deep in it, but
Heartbeat bit.
Yeah, we can't. But Kalisa, you want to start it? You want to give like the background of it?
Bye.
It was like, so nobody want to talk about it.
No, the thing is,
We can
I
leave
want
it
to talk
alone
about
now.
it, but at the same time, I don't feel like it makes sense when at this point, like,
Can we even get too deep into it?
yeah, we ain't gonna get too deep into it. I feel like half of the people don't drop out. No, like for it, let me be honest. Like this a decently long one.
All right, let me go into the next one then. That was
Exactly.
supposed to be from last week.
Ayesha Curry.
Yeah, there we go.
Also,
You hear that whole situation with Ayesha?
I hear it, but I didn't pay no mind to it, because at the end of the day, it's just it people don't understand that it's very difficult dating a superstar. Very difficult.
That's true.
And nobody would the only people that would understand her
Is other people
It's
who date
other stars,
superstars.
yeah.
exactly. You know, it's like Gabriel Union, J-Lo, I don't know what Kobe's wife name is. Sierra, but you know, all of these people, they are superstars themselves, but they are also dating superstars. You know, so it's very difficult to. People say, "Oh yeah, this is what you signed up for and whatnot." No, I signed up for this. I signed up for him. I signed up to date him, to marry him. Well, from a female perspective, I signed up for this. I signed up for you to become disrespecting me and my relationship. You know, that's my thing.
No, but that's
what led her to say what she said, or to go and say what she said, because it's like all of these occurrences happened, and she just let it out. She just said, like, you know, she tired.
Okay, from all right, let me give a little context.
What are you talking about?
Let me give a little context, sir, because she did more or less say that. You watched the whole interview,
but I thought we were specifically talking about her insecurity with not getting male attention.
Yeah,
That's
the
what
main-
I thought we was talking
I
about.
mean, her not getting the attention.
Yeah, that seemed like the main thing.
The main thing, because that was the whole uproar, that was the backlash, that was the memes being like, oh, women never happy and all of that.
Her not getting attention, it's like
yeah.
Listen,
I kind of feel around the same way.
okay, I gonna play devil's advocate for a minute here. Okay. First of all, let me start by saying this is not how I feel personally. Look, so like I
Disclaimer.
Yeah. No, I mean in the sense
I should start
that
doing
I've
that.
never felt that need of like attention if I with somebody. Like I don't want nobody else attention. But at the same time I could comprehend where she coming from, especially like she start off saying it is an insecurity. She said that.
This is true.
And
She did specifically say
when
that.
it comes to Ayesha Curry, I feel like she does get more praise where her relationship is concerned, where her mothering skills is concerned, where her morals is concerned. But nobody don't be like, "Ooh, Ayesha, you cute sis." Like, you know, like she don't got like men in her inbox like
But
that.
why
like,
do you need that validation?
yo, that's a whole different point. But
if
I just
it's not okay. I go play devil advocate.
I
now.
don't feel the need for that. But like I could understand if your man getting attention from everybody under the sun, and then I show
What I have to do with you?
no, but like also the people you hanging around with. Like you just mentioned Gabrielle Union. The type of attention Gabrielle Union does get or JLo does get is not the same attention that
Because Ayesha Curry have a
does
fat
get.
face.
Oh Lord.
And Ayesha Curry, that's what they always say. She has a fat face, so that's why they don't necessarily gravitate towards her. She has a fat face. She has a nice figure. Yes, ever since she had the second
listen.
child, is like.
All my fat face sisters out there.
Listen,
It's
this ain't
gonna
for me.
be
This is what I say. This is what the people I'm saying. Right?
You know, one day we will all find a man.
If I get to
who-
marry Ayesha, I'd marry Ayesha. But I mean,
I don't know. I
you know,
guess.
you just gotta find a man that appreciate and value your fat face.
But that my thing with that whole thing, I understand there's insecurity and all that. But from my understanding of women, period, everybody could correct me if I'm wrong, is always more or less, again, from my personal understanding, they were looking for that one partner who showed them the attention and they don't want the attention from everybody else. She never specifically, she never said that she didn't get the attention from Curry. Which would to me would say that he does give her that attention. What I mean, the attention means that he does tell her that she's beautiful. He tell her that he love her. He tell her all that. Her legit spiel was, oh, all these girls will be all over Curry, and then she's like, but what about me? If your man giving you, I just saying that if he does, I don't know exactly what it is. They seem like they got a solid relationship. It don't seem like that might be an issue. But if your man giving you that attention and that I guess quote unquote love, why would you need to be vindicated from outside of your man?
Okay, I want to try to give
Okay,
another
female
perspective. Okay, well,
No, cause I
What is
was
your
more watching
no,
Robert just shaking
Okay.
head. So,
look again. I cannot I don't understand it because I've never felt that way. But maybe her insecurity is stemming from somewhere else. For example, maybe she feel like, oh, because she does dress a certain way and she more conservative, that she's not attracting the same attention that females who are less conservative, who dress a little more risque would get. And maybe that's where that insecurity is stemming from. But at the end of the day, she come out, she say it was an insecurity. I don't feel that way. I don't understand it. But at the same time, I trying to put myself in her shoes and trying to see maybe, why is she feeling the way she feeling. I mean, sis come out and say it was an insecurity. So I mean,
King.
My whole thing on this entire issue is if insert whatever male NBA star were to come out and say the same shit, I want to see
That
all
is
the
very
women
true.
that were supporting it. I'd love to see them support it and show keep the same energy. To me, that's the most interesting thing in all of this. The amount of women I was like, I understand, I can relate, ain't nothing wrong.
I didn't even
with what
think
she
about
said. All of these things, I'm like, cool. If it's okay for a married woman to come out and say, I want attention from other people, I want to see the same energy, when a married man is like, well, I'm sorry, but it don't
Okay.
matter if my woman loves me and gives me all the attention or whatever.
I still want more.
I want more. I just want to see the same energy kept in that scenario. That's all I gotta say about all of this situation.
we all know it wouldn't be the same energy. But
Oh, we don't. A lot of women are there.
Nah.
Yeah, but I never see that side of the argument posed.
My main thing would be, let's say Safari didn't cheat, but Safari is a great example where something like this could have eased Nicki Minaj. You with a chick like Nicki Minaj who out here, who we know is selling sex, is a sex symbol. The amount of men she
Obviously
probably got in her DMs and stuff like that.
To a certain extent as well. Well, not to a certain extent, bigger than you. Period.
Like,
in both rap and popularity.
It's only now recently people know Safari. While they was together, like nobody knew who the fuck Safari was, nor did we care who Safari was. But let's say Safari came out publicly and was like, well, everybody's in the DMs of my chick, everybody loving Nicki Minaj. I feel like I don't get any love and this and that. Is like, would the reaction have been the same from women? I'm pretty sure it would not have been. It would be like, but you live in the life.
Men wouldn't have backed him up either without concern too, and that's kind of a
men would say he a punk.
Yeah. The support definitely would not have been behind him.
Okay, what you crying for? What you whining for?
Like you got it. You got it all. You with Nicki Minaj, she fine.
What more
she
you want?
You
have
living
a
the good
question.
life. Cause you living off of her paychecks, and then you ain't even got to be out there working.
Yeah.
Okay, like y'all think that the acceptance is like it stems from the fact that, well, in social media, or like I know we read about this a lot, that women tend to generally be more insecure when it comes to like their body and stuff like that, and they portray it in a certain way in social media, and that does influence the insecurities.
I mean, I kind of,
and then maybe
that could be
also why
I did see a lot of people giving the same opinion where Rumer did say that about how she fat face and like after the other baby, and you know.
I mean, there was like
so maybe that's why people are more understanding, because they feel like women have more insecurities to deal with. Or, well, not necessarily to deal with, but more prone to insecurities.
I feel like a lot of that is just... it's socially acceptable for women to have emotions.
Because women speak out more than men about
men. Men might be going through the same shit, but he speaks about it. He's a bitch. He's a pussy. We don't want to hear that. It's like all the same feminists who's preaching that they want men to be more in touch with their feelings. They're hypocrites with that same shit too.
I don't know if you had watched the whole
I didn't watch it.
Okay, cool. So I didn't watch the whole thing. I did, and my original stance, and somewhat, even though the questions I had posed, I stand by them. The Curry mother was there during the talk as well, and the first thing she had to say was like, "Honey, you don't see it," and I believe that's how it is as well. I think she's looking for a specific type of attention.
She's not getting it,
and she's not getting that, but she is getting the attention, but it's not the. Oh, I want to put it on Ayesha Curry type something. It's more like,
I would buy you a house and a jet and
I would fly you out and I just want one night with you type something versus
I need that type of thing.
I respect you as a woman, as a chef, or as a
like I certainly understand that, because it's one of those things that in society, whether we all agree to it or not, it's kind of like an unspoken rule that women get judged on looks, guys get judged on money / the ability to provide, that kind of thing. So it's like, I certainly understand a woman feeling a way about not getting the love because guys not out there publicly at least exclaiming that we see you as attractive. The thing that society puts women's value on, you don't have that. I certainly could understand that.
It's not like she don't have it. It ain't like she ugly.
No, but I think
not seeing the physical evidence that would suggest that if I was attractive, I would have all these people in my DMs, which seems to be modern day kind of the metric that we're using in the social media era. That's basically how it goes. If I was attractive, guys would have been in my DMs. It would have been like public conversation, because it's just kind of pop culture. There's certain people that you think of when it comes like, okay, this is the hot chick, this is who guys want to sleep with or whatever. I mean, there's a lot of people, I guess, that could fit in that category, but Ayesha Curry is not the name that comes up when you think of like
topic,
So I can certainly understand the insecurity stemming from there and feeling a way about it.
I think like external influences definitely affect women insecurities more than men. I would
see,
say.
I disagree.
Really,
I feel
you don't
like
think
it's
that
the
men
same thing that I just said,
is
where
not
it's
more
socially
internal?
it's socially
Socially acceptable.
for women to express themselves. The same men go through the same amount of shit, but if a man ever reacts in the same way that a woman does, getting hysterical and throwing things, you're like, but you a bitch, nigga. Man up, what is you doing?
Yep.
Like, you're not allowed to physically express it the same way a woman is allowed to just express it in general.
No,
Like,
I'm not saying that they don't have the same amount of things like factors. I'm saying that the factors are different. Whereas women, it would be external, and men, it would be more so internal.
I ain't following you with that, you know.
I think it's the other way around.
Really?
Men is external and women is internal. Because women, when they have their insecurities about something, is basically how they feel on the inside about something.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the influences is external. So, like, because you're not getting attention, which is from the outside, you develop an insecurity. But I feel like when it comes to men, it's more like a lot of men, well, as far as I have seen, is that they post, they insecure about not achieving a certain thing, or for example, not achieving a goal or not being a provider, things like that, and that's more internal.
But then kind of what King was saying to a certain extent is how it's socially acceptable the fact that women are more or less objectified as sex objects.
No, yeah, I understand what you were saying, but
okay, because that to me that's where that stems. Men, because men you can more or less have that, just like King was saying as well. They have that. People, we have those insecurities as well, but if we say them out loud, they'd be like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with you?
that's why I give the Safari example. I would just love to see what the reaction would be. Yes, Safari fucked up because he cheated on Nicki Minaj and did a whole bunch of other shit. I'm not condoning that. But if the reason for all of that was I'm insecure because Nicki out here getting all this love and stuff, and I need to revalidate myself as a man and feel like, yo, I could actually get some pussy too, for example. If that was his reason that he came out, would women be as sympathetic to that?
They wouldn't care. I don't think, honestly, to be quite honest, I don't think they would care.
nah, I
And
think
that's basically the only point they're trying to make it, in the sense that keep the same energy.
Either they wouldn't
if
care,
you're
or
sympathetic for one, be sympathetic for the other.
I think they would call him like a simple, like not simple, a typical misogynist.
And yes, I get that the cheating makes it a little different and shit like that. That's crossing the line because Ayesha Curry not here sleeping with nobody. She just said she like attention, so it's different.
but okay, so you think
I just say.
I like to stir
okay,
up
so
shit.
what if the thing I was trying to make with the external and internal, like I want to give the same point with like Safari. Now, what if he had said that he feel insecure because his woman making more money than him, or that his woman, like, he's not the provider?
He signed up for that. You knew that before you get into that relationship.
You think men would sympathize more because that's the no?
No,
Okay.
because you knew before you get with her that she's a breadwinner. She makes money.
No, they was together a long time.
Yeah, but he was pushing hard to do
that's
that.
true.
So like if you was there,
To
No,
me, you
but
can
it
legitimately
wasn't-
can make the same argument with Ayesha Curry situation. So at the age of 21, when they got together, yes, they knew each other before that, but they got together at the age of 21. So you didn't know Curry was going to the NBA and going to make lots and millions of dollars.
not
No, it's
necessarily.
not even that.
But he was.
So he wasn't a
Curry
draft
was a liability coming out of college because his ankles was always weak. Curry was a liability. They took a chance on him.
He did
He just
have
exceeded the expectations.
But he did have that popularity throughout the schooling, though. He was popular in high school. He was popular in college.
But I want to know if you're a prospective NBA draft pick. Tell me who the fuck is going to the NBA, whether you good or not. The fact that you in the NBA. All of that is like, okay, so you can have all the chicks in your DMs being like, oh, so you make it, you gonna be rich. It don't matter if you on the bench or not. You getting paid millions and millions to play basketball. Like the worst nigga on the team getting paid millions and millions to play basketball. Which is why, to me, yes, that might be the case. But still, once you know, okay, he's likely going to the NBA and these things is pretty much kind of solidified at 21. That's more or less the age. I don't know exactly when he got into the NBA or how old he was. But you knew what the fuck came with that, in my opinion. you know that there's going to be extra attention, a whole bunch of media coverage, and all of these things. Even if it's just a hometown perspective, maybe not internationally, because if he's not LeBron, if he's not Zion Williams, that's a top draft pick. He may not be international like that, but you still get into the NBA. People know Steph Curry. People know, okay, cool. Now you got the bread. All the chicks want to be in your DMs because they know you got the bread, even if you ain't good.
Mm-hmm.
In her defense, she might have known.
And she was a star too. She got a cooking show and different things that she was doing.
Yeah, but 7 years ago, 8 years ago.
I know as close as how big Curry is. But in her defense, where that's concerned, she might have she might have known it, but I don't think she was prepared for it to this extent.
The only reason I bring that up is because with the Safari, to me, you could make the legit. If you could say that Safari should have known, then she should have known too. That's the only reason I bring that up.
I mean, see, this is my thing now. You could never prepare yourself for it.
That's why I said she wasn't
never
prepared.
prepare. 10 years,
really,
because don't forget, this is Stefan's.
But
think
you
it's,
would always say, you should have known.
You should.
So how should Safari have done to prepare?
You should know, but you can't necessarily prepare for it. You know that it's going to come. You don't know in what magnitude it's going to come.
But that's the thing. Safari's situation I find is a little bit different because you pushing her out there. You use one of the main people behind the scenes who pushing her. Not only that, you pushing her as a sex symbol. So obviously her image going to be a lot different. Curry ain't no sex symbol. He's just a respected fella in the NBA and
with pretty eyes.
I'm not gonna say that Rumer say it, but that's what a lot of girls like about him. So it's like he think that's his
Listen,
look for
I
it.
sure about my sexuality that my eyes pretty, okay?
Hey, you go ahead.
That's fine.
I feel you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess that's just I guess everybody gave them more or less the takes on it.
My thing is, this is a debate that you can't get into because you could never argue emotion. Your emotion is different than mine.
I agree with that.
You can't argue emotion. If my emotions tell me,
I don't know why. I was checking WhatsApp and
if my emotions tell me,
my bad, guys.
right? If my emotions tell me that this is how I feel and I want to express my emotions, I can express it. If that's my emotion, your views on my emotions might not correlate with my views, but it's my views. It's my emotions.
I agree. And to me, the only thing with
that's why I didn't plan. That's the main reason why I didn't get into it because I don't want to have an opinion on it.
I'm curious about how Steph feels because to me, he's the person that should be the most.
Steph
he came out later and was like, I support you and blah blah blah.
But Steph can't say. It's just like the year when she went on Twitter with her whole rant saying the NBA is rigged. They want the other team. They want LeBron to win in 2017 when LeBron win. They want LeBron to win. Yeah, that all of that. That was her emotion. That was her going out and feeling that she had to express herself about her husband. You know, she just that not necessarily Gabrielle Union wouldn't do the same thing. LeBron wife wouldn't do the same thing. You know, but it's like
I definitely give her props.
See it as different though.
I definitely give her props for saying it, but yeah,
because I certainly see how a way that it could be interpreted, like you saying that is like, oh, so Steph ain't handling his shit correct, or like in some ways you're not getting the attention you need in a way.
I don't think he'll take it that way,
but my thing is he's a basketball player.
Publicly say, even if he did take it that way, what can he do? He can't come out publicly and say, she shouldn't have said that.
No,
and
but
she got me here feeling away. Like, you can get clowned for that shit if he come out and say that.
No, because he said it back in 2017 when she did the whole rant and stuff like that. He said we probably take her phone away from her. He joked about it, you know, but it's not something he could have helped, you know. I'm pretty sure he knew that she was going there, but I'm pretty sure he wasn't expected that this whole thing would have spin off like this.
And that's why I say what I say is like, once it's already out there, if we married and shit like that, you have to kind of just ride with it and go along and be like, cool. It doesn't mean he necessarily liked it or didn't. We wouldn't know the truth. What about did he feel a way that they're saying
I'm pretty
this
sure
type
he
of thing?
did. They spoke about it behind the scenes.
Yeah, for
he
sure,
done
but
reckon,
I
so he
mean, we don't know it.
probably buy like another diamond or something.
I just felt it was a little funny how people like, boy, Ayesha got Ayesha got to talk to Curry because all of a sudden after that come out he started playing bad in the first couple of games of the playoffs. So I just find that was
and then he went on to score 38 in the second half.
I mean,
It's like-
maybe that's why they talk about it. I don't. It is about an hour. We going up on 2 hours now.
Bye.
Rumer don't do he last minute plugs. King, go through.
I mean, the only things I gotta say is make sure you stream all the Three Conscious Cats music, those from Mr. King as well. Like Rumer was saying, on all streaming services, whichever one you use, Tidal, Deezer, any one of them. I prefer you use Tidal because Tidal pays me more, but I mean, the choice is yours. And yeah, that's all I got.
Okay, I got a couple things. The 25th of what we in? May? Which is next week, Friday, I believe. But anyway, either which way, the 25th of May, there's a Lyrics and Spirits event, which is in Via Hotel in Amsterdam. For those of you who don't really know, who are not accustomed to Lyrics and Spirits, it's technically like an open mic. You could come through, you could rap, you could do poems, you could do whatever it is you want. If you want to you could do soca. I mean, I don't think the Dutch people really upload it like that, but I mean, hey, if you're that confident with yourself, come through. But yeah, that's on the 25th. If you want more information, you can hit me up on IG, or if you have me on Facebook, you can check me on Facebook or that, or you can hit up Woods as well.
I think I might actually come to this one.
I ain't even gonna tell you nothing with that. I'm gonna deal with you off here. But as well, we said last week, every Monday we in John Doe for the Curious party. If you have nothing else to do on Monday night and you feel like not going to work on Tuesday, or you don't have nothing else to do on Tuesday, hey, come through. If you want to go to school, I mean, this is a practically good excuse. So just hit me or Woods up for that as well. And not forgetting also, for your biodegradable straws, you could check out Kyle Watty on St. Maarten or Rumer. In case are you ever looking for an event and you need like biodegradable straws, Kyle Watty selling straws on the island is good for the environment and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Is about I can't remember the price. I believe I had said like €20 for a box of $20 for a box of 50. So if you want more information or you want those products, hit up Kyle Watty. You can hit him up on Facebook, or just hit him on Facebook, or you can hit me up personally to check to get more information about it. And the last thing for me is like I would say almost every week, St. Martiners in general, we got to stop depending on the government. Obviously, government ain't doing shit. No offense to Rumer and his affiliation with TIAT and the Ministry of Tourism. But in general, what is going on with you though? How about you just leave your phone alone? Anyway,
I was leaving it alone. I don't know why.
We can't be dependent on government no more. We gotta start helping out each other. The more we actually come together and help out each other, the more we can actually progress in life. It don't have to always be this individual thing. And yeah, that's about it for me.
Yeah, take the link up as an example to what Kana was talking about. An example of, Simon people come together to help each other, promote each other and all of them.
And with all that, we want to thank Rumer for coming on. We appreciate
Thank you for having me.
We appreciate you coming on, especially knowing
last minute
something and you're leaving tomorrow, so even you didn't have to come through, so we appreciate you coming on. And big up Rashid on that one as well. And yeah, I don't. I feel like talk a lot.
What's the rap name? Richie? Big up Richie.
Yeah, for real, you gotta start calling you that from now on.
I thought you just called him
Lyrics and
Rich.
Spirits come true.
I thought everybody just called him Rich.
Man,
You call him Rich.
I know Rashid. The man introduced to me himself so
I got him in my phone as Rashid.
My name is
You've
Rich.
been lying to us.
I got him as Rich.
But yeah, from me, Rich, Kalissa, Kana, Rumer, and everybody here in the building,
I got him as Richie. I got Richie. I got a man as Richie. That's been from since.
That's it though. That's it.
Go through it, Richie.
But yeah, people, like I was closing off the show.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry again about my phone. I was opening the group
Yeah,
chat.
you really become the next Woods, man.
I don't know what happened.
It's
I
the
wasn't
Ruben
open-
people, something about a Ruben.
Yeah,
Listen. Are you bored?
People for real,
All the
now.
Ruben people gone now to Saber.
You got one more person listening.
But you acting like we had any rumors in the first place.
Yeah,
But
listen.
anyway, people,
The people on my timeline just watch, okay?
we need
My
to close
cousins
off the
them
show.
just watch, so
Because I said we closing up. Just letting you know. But yeah, people, we'll see y'all the next time we link up. We've been trying to close 2 hours.
Bless.
Later.